Hello everybody and welcome to this tournament video for the playthrough for Master Division for the upcoming tournament. This video is with variable wins and I will go through all the holes that we are going to play. If you do want to follow along in a better way, you follow the info box on the right hand side for club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, but also what ball and club I suggest you to play with. Have in mind, you don't have to follow that if you don't want to, but I always have a plan with my suggestions. Now, let's enjoy the video and go to hole number 1. On the drive here on hole number 1, option number 1, the special ball play, we are starting with QB at max P2 rest. White ring to the right by the rough line. We're using a 5 topspin, which is max with QB, and 3 left spin. Why aren't we using more topspin? It's because we don't want to go too far. We want to catch that slope down the left in a good way. Half a ball of left curl just before circle drop, overpower this to make it possible for everyone, regardless if you have curl grids or not, to be able to follow the curl suggestion. We bounce on the fairway. You can see we get past the rough like that, and we are rolling down like this to approximately 375 yards. On the approach, we are looking to set 4 and 2 clicks of topspin, which is 4.1 topspin, and that is the only thing we're doing. Bullseye to be by the fringe, where the fringe meets the fairway. Ball guideline to go over the hole when we make the check. Inner ring to be by the edge of the rough line. Ball guideline through the hole. Now, adjustment is going to be 50% slider with a 10% elevation, P2 numbers, and that is from +0. And what we're looking to do is to add a click of right curl in the high winds in the yellow angle, and that's the only thing we are doing. As always, personal tweaks are essential. If you're missing a specific side, make sure to tweak for that. Missing right means that you need to deduct adjustment. If you're missing left, you need to add adjustment. It's as simple as that. Get our guide, new season and everything, on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Tour rotation, tournament, checkpoint challenge. We do have something for everyone, so scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the description down below. Hole number 2, start with a power 5 ball, preferably a ball that do not have any side spin. The tiki ball or the reef ball is 2 perfect balls to start with. We're looking to be at complete min line with the bullseye just left into the rough, using a 1.4 bars of a backspin is what we're looking for. Now, the 1.4 bars of backspin may look like 1.5 for you, may look like 1.3, but it is what I'm using in the video and what is listed in the guide that you shall follow. Now, swapping to any P0 to P3, wind 5, side spin 0 plus. Adjust 1 to 1 plus 0.2. And then we're gonna try to hit perfect. As you can see here, or you can't really see here, a single great right with an accuracy club like the quarterback will be fine, but a double great right should be expected to miss the rough. No wind angle tweaks observed here for this shot so far, but we'll keep observing moving forward. But we're playing into a nice little sticky spot there from that spot that we're bouncing it in the rough. Get our guide by scanning the QR code here on the screen and using the link patreon.com/golfclashtommy in the description down below. Tour rotation has started today, the 28th of August. Make sure to sign up for that and tournament guides. On the drive here on hole number 3, option number 1, Thor's hammer level 7 plus play. We are using all the top spin and 0.8 right spin from P0 NMT. When it comes to this ball swap, then we are swapping to any P3 plus, a side spin 1 plus, wind 5 ball. Here you can see that we are adjusting to +3. We're gonna adjust somewhere around +1 to +6. That means that you can play with a P3 ball absolutely, but the needle will be be a bit shaky. But as we do have an open fairway, the only thing to be aware of is to hit a bad great left. Now it looks like we're getting closer to the rough than what we actually are because of the slope. But if you do hit a great left, you're going to catch the slope less, which means it's going to fall down left. And if you do hit a great right, it's still going to be fine in that sense. Thor Summer level 7 are going to push up after the adjustment, and for the Thor Summer level 7 to not have a really hefty needle on the OP, we recommend a P4 plus ball. On the second shot, we're gonna do a pin check, and here we see we do have +1. Now all the backspin and half a left spin. Now look to what I'm doing here. Now you see how the ball guideline moves like that. We do want to be just before it does that glitch, with the third bounce as our focus to be by the line between the dark and the bright green square row. Now you can see the bushes in the distance. That's our reference point. You see we are somewhat in the middle of the bushes, and that's going to be the middle angle that we do have. There is a left angle, there is a middle angle, there is a right side angle. Now when I did adjust, I do adjust 1 to 1 from the base of +5 and +6. And what you need to have in mind here is that the ball guideline will be clipped by the tree when you are adjusting, but as the wind is pushing left to right, you will not clip the tree if you're not doing something really wrong or hitting a really nasty great left. I've been hitting a double great left and I still did not clip the tree. That's why I'm saying like it needs to be a really bad great left. If so, one click of underpower in this angle and we're getting the ball past the pin to roll back into the hole for an albatross. Get our guide on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, and we do offer tour guides, checkpoint challenge and tournament guides. On the hole 4, this is an interesting pin location. I do believe that this opens up for some innovative skills. We're looking to have all the top spin with the sniper and 3 left spin, looking to be at max P1 rest. Second bounce to be just right of where it be clipped by the rough, and then you can also see the ball guideline like I did zoom in there. Adjust 1 to 1 plus 0.9, and then we're gonna do minor wind angle tweaks here. This angle is the 1 click OP angle in the high winds. We're going to, in the lower winds, we are going to add a little bit more OP, like an extra click though. This because we don't want to go short. Adjust is done. We're adding the click of OP. Perfect ball it is, and you can see we land safely into the rough, or like you can't see that for the stupid tree, but we are. Rolls down the green and dropping dead center for the hole in 1. Get our guide on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Tour guides, checkpoint challenge and tournament guides, something for everyone. That as well on our website, patreon.com/GCT 9, where we're doing 12 quick 9s out of 16 every season. On hole number 5, option number 1, we are going for green. Bullseye where the rough meets the rough. And then we're going to adjust max plus 20 P0 for wind above 15. So we are adjusting for the 1.8 wind. So the difference between 15.0 and 16.8. So for a POC 8 it's easy. We're adjusting 1.8 rings as is 1 to 1. 1.3 backspin and 3 right spin in this angle. and we're using 1.5 ball of right curl, trying to hit perfect. I've been hitting great on either side and have still been fine. I would recommend a great left over a great right. Perfect ball comes down the green, and then it seems to have a kind of a new slope, because it usually just sloped down. Here it slopes a little bit to the right, and we have a simple putt for the eagle. Get our guide on patreon.com/golf/Tommy for tour guides, checkpoint challenge, and tournament guides. Hole number 6, option number 1. This is for a POC 7 and a POC 8 only. For those of you that do have a POC 5 and a POC 6, check out option number 2. Start with P1 and are a POC in NMT. All the top spin, 1 right spin adjust. It's going to be max plus 20 P0. Once we have done that, a POC 7 is going to push up 0.2 rings. A POC 8 shall not do anything. This is the needle, or let's say like this, if you do have a low wind, it is a little shake with a P3 ball. You can play with a P2 ball as well, but then it's gonna be fairly shaky, in my opinion. Obviously, if playing with any P4 or P5 ball, it's gonna be completely slow needle all the time. Looking to get to around 425 to 430 yards. On the second shot, we are going to do a top blue ring rough check. This is before spin, so we're gonna use the tip of the ball guideline to point towards the hole, as well as an extra reference to know that we're actually checking at the correct place. Now we're looking to have the ball guideline to go from being short to long, and what I mean with that is that it is a little jump that you can see here in the video. You can also see the ball guideline picture displayed in the guide, whereof if you do not find that little jump that I'm looking for, then you can always just try to mirror the ball guideline. All the top spin, 2 right spin. This is the zone where we do nothing, and it is from +2 and +3. We're using 28% slider, -5% elevation, P2 numbers. We bounce into the rough, rolls up onto the green, and we are dropping this one dead center for the albatross. Scan the QR code here on the screen, or use the link patreon.com/golf-tommy in the description and down below for tour guides, tournament guides, and checkpoint challenge. On hole number 7, we are using awkward spins, and the reason for that is because we do want to try to catch the absolute massive funnel that has appeared now with a new hole location. We're using 2.5 top spin and half a bar of right spin. What we're looking to do here now is to have at P1 min line, look at the ball guideline arc to enter into the left side of the dark green square row with ball guideline pointing back towards the hole. Could be a little bit glitchy there, so make sure to find a firm ball guideline, but don't stress if you don't find it on that exact spot. Have in mind that this funnel is big, and there is a chance as well for great balls to drop when playing into this funnel. Adjust 1-to-1. So 7.5 rings for 7.5 miles per hour. And last but not least, we're using circle drop OP to counteract the headwind. You can see we land nicely into the rough, rolls past the pin, takes a stop, and it falls down dead center for the hole in one. You can swap to any type of P0 to P2 ball after you have made your adjustment. Have in mind it needs to be a side spin 1+ and a wind 5 ball. Get our guide by scanning the QR code here on the screen, or use the link patreon.com/golf-tommy in the description down below. On hole number 8, we are going to start with a power 0 ball and our POC level 5+. What you need to have in mind here now, that if you do have an apocalypse level 5 or 6, you cannot take the shot with those clubs because you won't have enough topspin. So what we're going to do is that you are going to set it up, like I said, with a POC 5+, with a P0 ball at max. Then we're swapping to a P5 ball, P5 win 5. P5 win 5 or P5 win 4. You make the adjustment, And then after you have made your adjustment, you're swapping then to an extra mile level 9 or a Thor's hammer level 6 plus, and that only if you do have an Apocalypse level 5 level 6. This because we do want to have a little bit extra top spin than what we do have with Apoc 5 and 6. Apoc 7 and Apoc 8 always stay throughout the adjustment. What you need to have in mind that you play with such a large variety of balls here, and it works with Wind 4 and Wind 5. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for tour guides, checkpoint challenge and tournament guides. Hole number 9. Now when they have moved the pin here for Eagle Peak 2, the left hand side of our drive here is definitely going to be opening up an opportunity that we didn't really have before, in my opinion. Before, we used to go right side, and that's where we're usually going when it's the regular pin location for the Eagle Peak. But now, with the pin standing outside the funnel, we have a chance to go for a rough bump here from this distance. We are having loads of room on the drive. There's so much fairway to play on, so it doesn't matter really if you're hitting great left or great right if you give yourself enough room. I'm using max top spin and some right spin, some right curl, and then obviously if we do have a headwind, we're going to have a shaky needle. But the whole thing with this type of playthrough here for hole 9 is to show you from this perspective, or like from this distance, how it can be. And this is my third shot. I'm trying to go for a rough bump from distance. It may look scary, then you can always use backspin and land it on the fairway and bounce up towards the pin. But I do believe that from this type of distance, a rough bump that do remove the need to tweak for the bounce after the first bounce, at least to a big extent, then that's going to be a massive advantage doing so. I'm adjusting for a very high elevation here. On the second shot, I do judge the elevation to be at least 25%. You can see how much downhill it is by us being in the position we are in. Now, in the end, I needed to have the ball guideline through the hole a bit more, and then we would possibly have a look for the albatross. So in the end, this is going to be a tougher one to drop in terms of getting the albatross. But again, you can go as even more conservative than what I'm doing here if you're only looking for an eagle. Thank you everybody for watching this playthrough video for Master Division for the upcoming tournament. If you did enjoy the content here, make sure to smash the thumbs up on your way out. Now, last but not least, a massive good luck in the upcoming tournament.